Hey, how are you? My name is Jeremy. I'm going to be reading from this book, Leadership Theory and Practice by Northouse. I'll be in chapter 5. This is page 110. This is titled Leadership Instrument. All right, then we'll go into the Situational Leadership Questionnaire. All right, Leadership Instrument, page 110. Here we go. Although different versions of instruments have been developed to measure situational leadership, nearly all of them are constructed similarly. As a rule, the questionnaires provide 12 to 20 work-related situations and ask respondents to select their preferred style for each situation from 4 alternatives. The situations and styles are written to directly represent the leadership styles of the 4 quadrants in the model. Questionnaire responses are scored to give respondents information about their primary and secondary leadership styles, their flexibility, and their leadership effectiveness. The brief questionnaire provides in this section illustrates how leadership style is measured in questionnaires of situational leadership. For each situation on the questionnaire, you have to identify the development level of the followers in the situation and then select one of the 4 responses alternatives that indicate the style of leadership you would use in that situation. Expanded versions of the brief questionnaires give respondents an overall profile of their leadership style. By analyzing the alternative a respondent makes on the question, one can determine the respondent's primary and secondary leadership styles. By analyzing the range of choices a respondent makes, one can determine that respondent leadership flexibility. Leadership effectiveness and diagnostic ability can be measured by analyzing the number of times the respondent makes accurate assessments of the preferred leadership style. In addition to these self-scored questionnaires, situational leadership uses similar forms to tap the concurrent perceptions that bosses, associates, and followers have of a person's leadership style. These questionnaires give respondents a wide range of feedback on their leadership style and an opportunity to compare their own views of leadership with the way others view them in a leadership role. So that's page 110, going to page 111. This is the questionnaire. Situational Leadership Questionnaire, sample items, instructions. Look at the following 4 leadership situations and indicate what the development level in each situation, which leadership style each response represents, and which leadership style is needed in this situation. Action A, B, C, or D. Alright, situation 1. Here we go. Because of the budget restrictions imposed on your department, it is necessary to consolidate. You're thinking of asking a highly capable and experienced member of your department to take charge of the consolidation. This person has worked in all areas of your department and has the trust and respect of most of the staff. She's very willing to help with the consolidation. Alright, A is assign the project to her and let her determine how to accomplish it. Assign the task to her, indicate to her precisely what must be done and supervise her work closely. C is assign the task to her and provide support and encouragement as needed. And D is assign the task to her and indicate to her precisely what needs to be done, but make sure you incorporate her suggestions. Alright, so that's situation 1, developmental level, score, and action. Alright. For leadership, indicate what the developmental level is in each situation, which leadership style in the response represents, and which leadership style is needed in the situation. Situation 2. You have recently been made a department head of the new regional office, and getting to know your departmental staff, you have noticed that one of your inexperienced employees is not following through on assigned tasks. She is enthusiastic about her new job and wants to get ahead in the organization. Alright, A is discuss the lack of follow through with her and explore the alternative ways this problem can be solved. Specify what she must do to complete the task, but incorporate any suggestions she may have. Define the steps necessary, this is C. Define the steps necessary for her to complete the assigned task and monitor her performance frequently. And D is let her know about the lack of follow through and give her more time to improve her performance. Developmental level, put a score there, and action. Alright. Situation 3. Because of a new and very important unit project for the past 3 months, you have made sure that your staff members understood their responsibilities and an expected level of performance, and you have supervised them closely. Due to some recent project setbacks, your staff members have become somewhat discouraged. Their morale has dropped, and so has their performance. Alright, so A, you continue to direct and closely supervise their performance. B, you give the group members more time to overcome the setbacks, but occasionally check their progress. Now, C, you continue to define group activities but involve the group members more in decision making and incorporate their ideas. And D is participate in the group members' problem solving activities and encourage and support their efforts to overcome the project's setbacks. Developmental level and action score. Alright, situation 4, final situation. Situation 4, page 112. As a director of the sales department, you have asked a member of your staff to take charge of a new sales campaign. You have worked with this person on other sales campaigns, and you know he has the job knowledge and experience to be successful at new assignments. However, he seems a little unsure about his ability to do the job. Alright, so A is assign the new sales campaign to him and let him function on his own. Nah, we're going to do that. Set goals and objectives for this new assignment, but consider his suggestions and involve him in decision making. Listen to his concerns, but assure him he can do the job and support his efforts. Tell him exactly what the new campaign involves and what you expect of him, and supervise his performance closely. Developmental level and action. Interesting. Okay. Scoring interpretation of those situations right there. Remember, it was, I think, an A, B, C, D. Scoring interpretation. All right. A short discussion of the correct answer to the brief questionnaire will help to explain the nature of the situational leadership questionnaire. Situation 1. In the brief questionnaire, describe a common problem faced by organizations during downsizing. The need to consolidate. In this particular situation, the leader has identified a person who appears to be highly competent, experienced, and motivated to direct a downsizing project. According to the SL2 model, this person is at development level 4, which calls for a delegative approach. Of the 4 response alternatives, it is the A response. Assign the project to her and let her determine how to accomplish it. That best represents delegating. S4, low supportive, low directive leadership. Situation 2 describes a problem familiar to leaders at all levels in nearly all organizations. Lack of follow-through by an enthusiastic follower. In the given example, the follower falls in development level 1 because she lacks the experience to do the job, even though she is highly motivated to succeed. The SL2 approach prescribes directing S1 leadership for this type of follower. She needs to be told when and how to do her specific job. After she is given directions, her performance should be supervised closely. The correct response is C. Define the steps necessary to complete the assigned task and monitor her performance frequently. Situation 3 describes a very different circumstance. In this situation, the followers seem to have developed some experience and an understanding of what is required of them, but they have lost some of their motivation to complete the goal. Their performance and commitment have stalled because of recent setbacks, even though the leader has been directing them closely. According to SL2, Situational Leadership 2 model, the correct response for the leader is to shift to a more supportive coaching style of leadership. The action response that reflects coaching is C. Continue to define group activities, but involve the group members more in decision making and incorporate their ideas. Situation 4 describes some of the concerns that arise for a director attempting to identify the correct person to head a new sales campaign. The person identified for the position obviously has the skills necessary to do a good job with the new sales campaign, but he appears apprehensive about his own abilities. In this context, SL2 suggests that the director should use a supportive style, S3, which is consistent with leading followers who are competent but lacking a certain degree of confidence. A supportive style is represented by action response, C. Listen to his concerns, but assure him he can do the job and support his efforts. Now, select 2 of your own followers. Diagnose their current development level on 3 different goals and your style of leadership in each situation. Is there a match? If not, What specifically can you do for them as a leader to ensure that they have what they need to succeed? Ha! Alright, that is the leadership instrument on page 110, going through the situational leadership questionnaire sample items, situation 1 through 4, and the scoring interpretation on page 113. Cool, so page 110 to 113, chapter 5. That is it. The summary is already on there in another video. See ya. Summary follows. Check it out.